Welcome to the appendix, where we read the primary sources of the past so that the present can be better understood. Today's primary source, the Declaratory Act, March 18, 1766. The obvious inability of royal officials in the colonies to enforce the Stamp Act, together with the injury to English trade resulting from the non-importation agreements, persuaded the Rockingham Ministry of the expediency of a repeal of the Act. The famous examination of Franklin before the House confirmed members in their opinion that repeal was necessary. Repeal encountered firm opposition in the Lords, however, and was carried only by pressure from the King and from the salve of the Declaratory Act. The Declaratory Act was couched in the same terms as the odious Irish Declaratory Act of 1719. Whereas several of the houses of representatives in His Majesty's colonies and plantations in America have of late, against law, claimed to themselves or to the general assemblies of the same the sole and exclusive right of imposing duties and taxes upon His Majesty's subjects in the same colonies and plantations, and have, in pursuance of such claim, passed certain votes, resolutions, and orders derogatory to the legislative authority of Parliament, and inconsistent with the dependency of the said colonies and plantations upon the Crown of Great Britain. Be it declared that the said colonies and plantations in America have been, are, and of right ought to be subordinate unto and dependent upon the imperial crown and Parliament of Great Britain, that the King's Majesty, by and with the advice and consent of the Lords spiritual and temporal and Commons of Great Britain in Parliament assembled, hath, and of right ought to have full power and authority to make laws and statutes of sufficient force and validity to bind the colonies and people of America, subjects of the Crown of Great Britain, in all cases whatsoever. 2. And it be further declared that all resolutions, votes, orders, and proceedings in any of the said colonies or plantations whereby the power and authority of the Parliament of Great Britain to make laws and statutes as aforesaid is denied or drawn into question, are and are hereby declared to be utterly null and void to all intents and purposes whatsoever. Thank you for joining us for our primary source today on the appendix. We will see you in the stacks.